Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today I've got GCD for you. Another sort of Chinese brand, acronym brand, we call them acronym brands, because they all have like a DCT, a GCD, or this or that or the other. But these, I think, for the most part, are licensed. I'm not super familiar with GCD. I've got a couple models here to show you. I've already showed these three over here in previous videos and Diecast Weekly episodes of the past. But we're going to revisit them today. And what prompted me to do this is because I just got this, which is a Diecast Talk exclusive. Model that is produced by GCD. I have a previous Diecast Talk exclusive right here. Diecast Talk is, it's a hobby dealer that does exclusives for GCD, and they're really, really cool, and that's kind of what put GCD on the map for me. So they do a lot of Toyota stuff, which you're going to see 3 Toyotas today. And then I also got this one here. Hard to see here with their packaging. Their packaging is leaves a little bit to be desired, and we'll talk about that. But their basic packaging, their hobby exclusive stuff or whatever is good, all in well. This stuff is a little bit odd. You can't see the car really well through the packaging, yada, yada, yada. We'll talk about it in a minute. But this is a Jaguar. We got a Jaguar. So we're going to check that out, an XJ300. I haven't seen this one yet. I haven't pulled it out of the package or anything, so that will be brand new for me. And then also will this Toyota Extra Cab SR5 4x4. Okay, which is like the Back to the Future truck, right? Which is getting some popularity in releases lately. There's a Johnny Lightning one, I think, that I don't know if it's out yet, but it's coming out. And then, of course, we got this one from GCD/Diecast Talk, yada, yada, yada. I think what we should start with, actually, is this guy right here. And again, tough to see in the package. This is a Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. And I'll show you how this packaging works. So we've got, the gobbledygook on the back, Toyota official licensed product on the back, which likely is legit. It seems like Toyota may be one of the easiest car brands to work with when it comes to licensing. Because, Toyota, and it seems like oddly Volkswagen is another one. There's just so many licensed little cars. And I don't know why diecast companies would ever really make it difficult, but it is what it is. So these cars are not too expensive. They typically cost around, when it comes to super premium diecast, they typically cost around $20 or so, sometimes a little bit more. And you get a microfiber cloth with them to clean your model. So how cool is that, right? I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but it is a microfiber cloth. It's a soft cloth to actually kind of clean up the model if you need to. The packaging, though, I don't like how they have just this angled window right here and then everything covered. It doesn't let light get in at all, which may be good in the long run for storage of the model, but it's not good for displaying them in the package. Although you can take them out of the outer box and you can kind of display them like this. The other neat thing that you'll notice too is these do not have a screw. There's no screw holding down the car or truck at all. And you get a microfiber cloth. Did I mention that? You get a microfiber cloth. How interesting is that? All right, so it comes in an acrylic case, which is pretty decent quality. And this one's got fingerprints on it. Maybe we should get, because I already did look at it once, maybe we should get the microfiber cloth out and clean her up. Well, anyway, it comes in one of these in lieu of a screw being in there, which is great, I think, for the storage of it. It avoids any flat tire issues, anything like that, from having pressure on the base. However, for display purposes, it's not the best. You could just remove all this, set it on here, and then, put it like this, and then you could display it. So that is an option for you. You've got some options. This one also comes with a piece that is not pre-assembled onto the truck, which is an annoyance for me. I don't like this. I wish it would be assembled right at the factory. Either you have it or you don't. But this goes right here, and it would need to be glued in. It doesn't really, it sits in there pretty decent, but actually it sits in there quite well. Kind of pressure fits in there, but there's no like holes for the little tubes to go in, so it is just sitting there, and you can easily just remove it. Anyway, I don't have it on there, and I'm not going to glue it on, so it's staying off for now. I think I might have to get this microfiber cloth out. There are some fingerprints on this thing, and I guess what better to remove those than to try out this nice soft cloth. Yes, this video is not about cloths, but we're going to talk about it. Oh yeah, that works really good. All right, and I'm going to put more fingerprints on as we go through the video, so I shouldn't really spend much time on this. All right, about the model, okay, so the philosophy, the GCD philosophy, what you're going to get with most models, at least in my experience, is you're going to get very highly detailed details, of course, inserted details for the headlights. Every little detail is pretty much going to be there that you would expect. Tacoma on the back, inserted details for the taillights. This may not be the best model to look at just because it's black and it might be hard to see some of the details in here, but the seats are, a different color. There's an extremely detailed dashboard in there. So there's a lot of really neat things. The other thing that, I mean, take it or leave it, the thing's got steering wheels. Okay, so the wheels turn. Is that a feature I really care about? Not entirely, but I guess for posing the model for pictures, maybe it is kind of cool to be able to have that wheel turn in or out. It also has suspension, and the suspension in it is pretty springy. It's very akin, I would say, to like your Tomica Limited Vintage in quality. So it's got a bounce. Okay, there are little bits of pieces and things you got to be kind of careful with. It's got the mud flaps here. It's got an extra piece for the exhaust. The spare tire in the back underneath here is rubber, so it's like an actual wheel. It's like the same thing as this. This one, it doesn't have a trailer hitch. I know they make them with a trailer hitch. This one's got the receiver though for it, which is cool. I don't think, no, tailgate does not flip down, hood does not go up, anything like that, and that's totally fine. I'm fine with no opening features. And honestly, I think the steering wheels are kind of unnecessary, and it's not like it has a wide turning radius, so you can't make it look super dramatic or anything. So that's a little bit extra. I don't think you really need that. The suspension too, kind of extra, right? I mean, like, what is it for when it comes to displaying the model? What does it matter that it can do that? I don't really know what the point is, but it is cool nonetheless. And again, this is a black car. We got fingerprints all over it, and we're going to clean her up just a little bit, and then we're going to set it aside and move on. But there you go, GCD. I don't know for sure, but the Tacoma is what put the brand on the map for me. Okay, that's when I first noticed it. Noticed the brand because it's Diecast Talk exclusives, and they put out a ton of different paint schemes and liveries and stuff or whatever for this particular casting, and it is really cool. All right, I do like it quite a bit. I think it's definitely best Tacoma in 1/64 scale. I don't think that can really be argued with, but unless you got something else to say. All right, let's look at the Diecast Talk exclusive, another one. So this, sticking in the same vein, this is a Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. So very similar look, right, to the Tacoma. I mean, they basically have, they have a very similar kind of feel, look to the front end. Packaging is a little different, right, because this is a Diecast Talk exclusive model. And it does look pretty cool. I got a little bit of tilt to my camera here, I just realized. So, license again. This packaging is kind of more standardized, or what we are more used to when it comes to premium diecast, having your standard acrylic case and then in this sort of cardboard situation. So a little bit, I think, better than the GCD style stuff. Just to me, I think it's better. So we got that, and then of course we got the acrylic case, and again we get a microfiber cloth under here, another GCD microfiber cloth, and then it is attached to the base in the same fashion where it's not actually attached at all. It's, I left the sticker intact on that side. Oh, and two, on the base plate, they always have these metal plates right here, and a lot of times they will have the number. So this is number 793 of 1200. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of times. I think their basic releases aren't numbered like this, but the Diecast Talk exclusives, at least this one is numbered like that, and it's got some sort of like sticker on the base plate. This one is of a road, and it looks okay. When I actually got this model initially, one of the mud flaps had fallen off. I had to glue it back in. So again, beware. There are small little pieces and bits that you got to be careful with. But of course, this went way off. All right, so of course this is a welcome model for any Toyota fan, right? To get this guy. And, you know, the Hot Wheels model of this is very, very popular, right? And especially that white one that was in Boulevard release. So, but I'd rather have this one because look at how detailed it is. We get inserted details for the headlights, of course. Everything you're going to find on that Tacoma that we just looked at, except this is a 4Runner. Just fantastically done. Very well detailed. Feels very high quality. Metal base, metal body, rubber tires. It's got the suspension, which I guess is kind of cool. And it's got the turning wheels in the front. Again, almost zero turning radius, so really, I don't know. I don't see much of a point with it, but I suppose it's kind of neat because it's not really done too often. Okay. So there's that. I don't think we really need to spend too much time on this, but this is a really cool model, and they have put it out in a bunch of different colors. It seems like the Tacoma first came out as a Diecast Talk exclusive before it came out as a GCD model, and I think this 4Runner is the same case. It came out as Diecast Talk first, and then now I think you might be able to get it as a GCD. I'm not entirely sure, but you'll have to look for it if you want one. I'm cool with just having the one white one. I don't think I'm going to get it in any other color. So I think this is going to be sufficient for my needs. But Toyota fans are, you know, people love their Toyotas, so somebody might want to get all the colors, and I get it. We'll open up this one. You know, let's open up this one next. So this is the next Diecast Talk exclusive, and this is really what prompted me to do the video. And is having to do this because I was excited for this truck. I pre-ordered it. You know, it's just a really cool looking Toyota truck to begin with, and the fact that it's kind of got like a Back to the Future tie, which it's not like Back to the Future licensed or anything, but it's, you know, made it all the more cool to me. So I think I know the issue here. There we go. Yeah, continuing to make camera adjustments while we talk. Why not? But this thing is pretty darn neat. Again, Diecast Talk exclusive. Comes in the acrylic case, much like the TRD Toyota 4Runner that we just looked at. And this is just a really cool truck. So, same deal. Hey, we get a microfiber cloth, of course. What a fantastic addition. I mean, I guess it's nice to have that there, sure. We're going to peel one of these Diecast Talk stickers here. So I'm just going to rip it off right there to leave the Diecast Talk on there. Not that I need a reminder of that's where it came from, but it's there. And then let's try to get the base to pop off here. We'll open it up like that. And then pull the truck out. So this one gets a black plate. 305 of 1400. By the way, there are chases of these. I think there are chases of all the Diecast Talk exclusive models. I think have chases. So if you're lucky enough, those get randomly inserted during pre-order time. So I highly recommend that. If you want to get your first GCD model, yeah, go ahead and get a Diecast Talk exclusive. There's nothing wrong with that. Pretty good hobby dealer there. So this one almost looks like it's going to have an opening hood, but it doesn't. And it looks like it's full of like an oil or fingerprints already. So we'll just use this microfiber cloth that I've already got opened and give it a little polish. Being careful, of course, because again, there are bits and bobs here that do appear to be pretty fragile. And we want to be a little careful there. And again, it's a black truck, so you're not going to be able to see like a terrible amount of detail. Will I get this one in another color? I don't know. Maybe I will. It's got the brush guard up front. Those Toyota lights, and again, heavily detailed. Looking quite good. I mean, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Too bad 860. So, really cool. Inserted details for the taillights that look really good. It's kind of like a metal flake black. And this time we get this is attached. Previous, so you don't have to worry about trying to attach it. The mud flaps are separate pieces, and again, you got to be careful of those. Again, it's got a spare tire on the bottom, which is the same wheel as what's actually on the vehicle. So if you really got a flat, you'd be able to change it. No, it's got suspension, again, and it also still has those steering wheels, and again, they're kind of, to me, they're kind of silly. Oh, hey, wow, I can really get that one to turn, actually. So that looks kind of cool, I guess. Kind of neat. I mean, is it necessary? No. I mean, would I buy the model without that feature? Yes. Maybe I didn't turn the other ones far enough to get it to do that, to get it to kind of lock in place. I didn't realize that they locked in place until just now. So do these? No, there's no room for these ones because of the thick tires to actually lock in place anywhere. This one, however, locks in place. Doesn't really roll well when it's like that, but it's there. What a cool model. I mean, it really is nice. It's really high quality, and you can feel the quality. It's got, does it have an, it almost look, oh my gosh, this one actually has an opening hood. Now, it kind of looked like it, but it was hard to tell because it's done so well that it actually had an opening hood. I actually did not know that it was having an opening hood until now. I still can't get this, like, oil or whatever off of it. So I'll work on that a little bit off camera, but it's got some oil in it. That's probably something to do with production and to make sure it doesn't get, like, scuffed or anything in the package, maybe. Oh, and you got to be careful too. These wipers are actually separate pieces as well. So another thing to be very careful of, because those are going to be dainty, obviously, and really difficult to, easy, I should say, really easy to possibly damage. Anyway, awesome. It's really cool. It's a really cool truck. They did a great job with it. I mean, it rolls. It's got everything anybody would really want in a die-cast replica model. I don't see anything wrong with it, and I don't see any reason why someone wouldn't want to spend the money on this. Now, to put it in perspective, the die-cast talk models, I think at pre-order do cost a little bit extra, and I think they're almost like $30. But to put this in perspective with an RLC model that we pay that much for, I think you get a lot more bang for your buck with this. Is this going to have a high resale value? You never know. It might actually, because it's pretty limited. Who knows, right? Who knows? So if you buy it for like resale and stuff like that, maybe. I don't know if these sold out or not. They may have. I think he sells out almost all of his pre-order stuff. So it's very possible. All right. Moving on to something that's not Toyota for a moment. We're going to just take a look at these two models. And there's a lot more GCD models out there. I would love actually to be able to get an example of every single tooling that they make. That might be the way I start to collect GCD. I'm not going to get every color of every tooling, but it would be cool. This one I put in the package backwards when I put it back in. But basic, right? I think it would be a cool thing to do, would be to get an example of each one of their toolings. And that's, I don't know. I just convinced myself that that's a good idea. And I think maybe I should do that. Maybe after this video, I'll do some shopping. But hey, we get this Volkswagen Golf Mark IV. I did not look for licensing. We should probably do that real quick. And see, in this particular model, I don't see any indication of licensing. So far, Toyota is the only thing that I've seen some licensing on. I don't see anything on this, and I'm curious when we get to the Jaguar if we're going to see anything like that. Again, you get the microfiber cloth with it. That's a standard. Get your GCD microfiber die-cast cleaning cloth. And they did a great job on this model. They came out with it, and that's the other thing. When they do release a model or a tooling, a lot of the times you will get it in quite a few different colors right off the bat. So this thing I think came up in like maybe 4 colors in wheel options and stuff right off the bat when it came out. And that's kind of neat that they do that. You get your option. I picked this green one. This is the one I opted for. I think this car looks good in this color. But again, you get all your details. It's got a little smudge there on the plate. So a little quality issue right there that I just noticed. Not a deal breaker, but if I'm shooting photos of this thing, that's gonna show up real easy. Inserted details for the headlights look great. VW logo looks great. The back looks good. That's how it's supposed to look. And then pretty decent there. The plate is a separate piece, but and I think it's just glued on, but I would never try to remove it, even though it is what it is. This one also has the wheels, and they do lock into a place. So if you wanted to pose this thing for photos, turning around a corner or doing something, you could do that if you so choose. The back wiper is a separate piece too, which I think I just almost ripped off with my fingers. Again, you got to be careful. And the front wipers are also separate pieces. Again, details in the dash. I mean, the more you look, the more detail is there. So these are really, really nice models. They definitely are. And the more I look at them, the more I want to get more of them. So I think I'm going to be adding some more GCD to the collection. I think so. So I like GCD. Like two of their standouts right now are GCD and LCD. And then DCT, which DCT I think is GCD's like budget line. I don't know. I can't keep up. But hey, we got another green car. This is a brand new one for me. This is the Jaguar XJ300, and I don't see any license on this one either. So let's rip her open. And again, yeah, I don't see any indication that this is licensed. So if you are a snob about licensing, or you really care about licensing, and I know some of you do, and I get it, you may want to pick and choose which one of these models you want to invest in or pick up. So we're going to see a microfiber cloth here. Yep. And then, of course, this packaging that I'm not a huge fan of, but it serves its purpose. This one's got the actual tape holding the case on, in this case. We're just going to remove the one side of it. I like to keep the other side intact just because it holds the thing together. Again, Jaguar, it's got the metal plate thing. It's very polished metal. And then we got the tooling itself, and the casting itself. So let's get that out. I'll kind of just set this over there. So what do we get with this one? It's going to be more of the same, right? Suspension. Yeah, it's there, but barely. And it's only in the back. It's not in the front. Do we get the turning wheels? Yeah, we do. Although in this particular case, these are not going to lock in. There's not enough room. Well, sort of. You can kind of pose it, but really not enough of a turning radius to matter. Does it roll? Yeah, it rolls. It rolls well. Does it have the details that we're looking for? Yes. It's got separate pieces for taillights. It's actually separate. Yeah, that's actually a separate piece for the tailpipes too. That exhaust piece right around here that's painted is actually separate. It's plastic. The base is metal. And it looks quite good. I mean, zero complaints right off the bat. Jaguar up there on the front. And let's look at the interior, if we can get it to kind of focus on that. It's going to be tough, but because of that window in the way, but it's detailed. You take my word for it. It is definitely detailed, and it's another green one, and it looks really good, and I'm not disappointed with it. I think it's fantastic. The other thing is these are probably true 1/64 scale, if you care about that, which I do and I don't. I go back and forth on that one. But yeah, I think this brand is really nice. They are pricey. I will say that. They're on the higher end of premium diecast. depending on where you get them from, they can be up to like $30 a piece, right? So they are kind of on the higher end of diecast. They have kind of a pretty limited tooling catalog as of right now, but I'm guessing that's going to grow, you know, as time goes on. This doesn't seem to be a brand that's like going away anytime soon, so I think we'll see them, you know, for a while, which is good. They're not like a fly-by-night, you know, Chinese brand. They're going to be around for a bit. It seems like they're selling pretty successfully as far as, you know, especially these hobby exclusive ones from Diecast Talk. And Diecast Talk, I think, is the only person I've known of that's made exclusives of these. So pretty interesting there. And I think it's just a cool brand. So I like it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you going to pick up a GCD model after watching this video? Do you already have one in your collection? What do you think about it? Go search them out. Find them. Tell me what you think. Are they worth the money? What are they worth? You know, and I always use, when I talk about expensive models, I always use like RLC as like the benchmark for like whether something's expensive or not. Kind of compared to the quality that you get for an RLC piece, right, from Hot Wheels. And I get it, there's hype and collectability in the Hot Wheels name, right? But just from a quality standpoint, if you just like models for models' sake and like models for the detail, you know, brands like this are really worth looking into. So, and I would encourage it. All right, that's going to be it for this. Thank you guys very much for watching another lengthy video. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day.